Viridia. V- Viridia. Viridia.
What?
Dude, holy crap. Do you know how long I've been waiting here? We started the Skype call. I mean, this is ridiculous. Do you know what today is? Today is February 24th.
What?
Yeah, I've been on a Skype call with you since November 20th.
Why? Why?
We were supposed to do the podcast. I was waiting for you to record the podcast. I've been on this call with you since November 20th.
Dude, I don't even know. I don't even know what's weirder,
Like,
the fact that I've been asleep for 3 months, or the fact that you waited.
well, that's just, I'm just dedicated. That's all. I've been sitting here. I haven't even been able to record any videos for YouTube or anything. I've been sitting here waiting for you on this call.
Well, I obviously am too, okay? Because I had to go to the bathroom at some point, and I didn't take the headset off.
I know. I heard it a couple of times, and you still didn't wake up. I was yelling at you.
Well,
Ah,
now that I'm awake, I'm wide awake now. I guess 3 months of sleep will put you in a
well,
well-rested state.
and I haven't slept yet, so we need to get this thing on the road.
Let's do this hour-long podcast, and you can go to bed, and I can go have something to eat. Shit.
Fantastic. All right, now we're ready to finally do episode 41. You know, everybody's been waiting on us too. That's what's even better. All of the DTS hardscopers, they've all
Mhm.
been waiting. I've been actually listening to emails and stuff while I've been waiting for you on this call this whole time.
Oh yeah, well I've been having dreams about it, so I've been getting them subliminally. People telling me, I think I might have slept streamed a few times, and I even started a sleep LP. How did you not hear that?
Well, it was going on in the background, and I thought maybe somebody else was there playing games or something, and using your apartment since you fell asleep for 3 months. I didn't know what was
I
going on.
was out of it. I was out. I have been not been conscious, so hopefully I've been doing a good job.
Awesome.
Anyway, welcome to Down the Scope, episode 41.
One. Jeez.
Oh my god, dude, it's been too long.
Indeed.
So what happened was we were gonna, we were ready to shoot the podcast, and I sent Anakin a message. I was like, dude, I actually have the stream even of the night we were about to do it, and I started streaming for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I'm like, I don't feel very good, guys. I was like, I'll be right back. And I lost it, like, in the bathroom. I came back. I'm like, guys, I'm sick. I gotta go. And I sent you a message, and I was like, dude, I'm sick. Well, to be honest, I was sick for a whole month, and I mean, it was pretty bad. And after that, it was just kind of like, well, I guess we're just gonna hang out for a bit, and stuff's been pretty stressful here, and I know you've had stuff going on too, and
Yeah.
we could make excuses all day, but in any case, I want to apologize to the people who really obviously enjoy the podcast. It's pretty crazy how many of you are just messaging me and Anakin and commenting, and especially in the stream, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like coming in literally just to say when is DTS. And the other day, if you guys are a frequent of Twitch TV, frequent visitors to Twitch, you know that Man vs. Game is one of the most popular casters over there. And I commented, I said, hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? And I got a person in there that I've never seen before. I have no idea who he is. He's like, holy crap, are you Viridia from YouTube? And I said, yeah. And he's like, I love Down the Scope, dude. Keep it up. I was like, oh my god, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, in Man vs. Games stream, I got recognized by a guy for DTS. So it was pretty crazy. Realize, yeah, we may not be getting millions of views, but the people who actually do view it do enjoy it very much. So want to say sorry for keeping you so long. Sure.
Indeed. It's been crazy. I mean, like you said, it's like that's the one thing, the single biggest request I've had since I kind of dropped off from the YouTube scene somewhat was over and over and over. When is DTS coming back? It's like where's the latest episode? Some people even got downright hostile. It's saying,
Yes.
where is my, this is like what makes my week. I start off my week on Monday listening to DTS, and I listen to it all day, and I listen to it over and over, and I'm just like, wow, people like really listen to this thing,
I
and
know. Well, when you The thing is that when we make this, we post it and we read like 50 or 60 comments. We see the views going up, but we don't. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to consider that all of those views are actually people listening to the podcast to me. And when you get into YouTubing and you see like these humongous numbers, like 400,000 views, you lose perspective on actually like 2 or 3 thousand views. But you just gotta look at it and say that's 3,000 people who are listening to this, and
Yeah, could you
and
imagine us right now, like sitting on a stage in front of 3,000 people in an
exactly.
auditorium? I mean, that's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah, it's like if we were sitting in front of every one of you guys, it's like that'd be a big stadium. It'd be full of people, and
I mean, I would feel a sense of accomplishment if I'm up on
yeah,
stage talking about video games in front of 3,000 people.
yeah. I mean, as long as I had no, I won't say that. I was gonna say something mean, but I was gonna troll the audience, but I don't think I should do that on the first episode back.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not a good idea.
I'll save it.
Give it until the next episode at least.
Yeah, next episode I'm trolling you. I'll say my joke. But
Fantastic.
so what have you been up to? What have you been doing the past couple months? I know that one of your long-awaited games, Soul Calibur 5, came out.
Yes, finally. It's about freaking time. I've actually I got to tell you this. Speaking of Soul Calibur 5, I was talking to some friends of mine the other day about what an eclectic gamer I am. What a
Mhm.
very well-rounded gamer I am. And a lot of people that listen to the cast from time to time, actually thought I kind of pigeonholed myself a little too much in the first-person shooter genre. But let me just tell you, a couple of Saturdays ago, I was here at the house, and it was a real rainy day, not much going on. I didn't have any real major responsibilities that day. I was just kind of hanging out. I
Right.
started my day off and I was playing Rock Band. Okay, that was the first thing I started doing. Then I came in to my computer area and I sat down and I started playing Star Wars, the Old Republic, the MMO. So I went from
Right.
a rhythm game, a music rhythm game, came in, sat down, started playing an MMO. Well, I had enough of that for a while. Then I threw in Modern Warfare 3 on the Xbox for a while. Now at this point, this is three different platforms and three different completely kind of games. Okay, so
Yeah.
I go from a music rhythm, then to an MMO, then to an FPS. I get tired of that because there's some lag problems. Xbox is kind of being goofy and the game's kind of being goofy. I get irritated with that. I toss that out. And then I throw in Soul Calibur. Okay, Soul Calibur 5, the newest one. So now I'm on a fighter. This is all within one day so far. So I'm playing Soul Calibur and I'm going through and I'm learning this character and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I play it for a couple hours and I get sidetracked. I have to go, do something, eat dinner or something like that. Then I come back later that night and I play an RTS with a friend of mine called Supreme Commander. I'm not making this up. In one day, and I didn't even realize I did all this. Okay, this was actually the next day. Somebody asked me, "Hey, what'd you do yesterday?" And I'm like, "Well, let me see." And and then my friends started making fun of me because they were like, "Wait a minute, you played a music game, an MMO, an FPS, then a fighter, and then an RTS?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I
Yeah,
did."
I did.
So anyway, yeah, that's actually I've been playing a lot more games recently. The whole thing with YouTube, it's really I do enjoy it, and I've actually missed it quite a bit. I've been getting in some Modern Warfare 3 again recently, and a lot of my long time fans have been getting in and joining me. And I mean, sure enough, man, I still see people rocking that 4N clan tag and jumping in my games any chance they got. And my friends list is filled up again. I deleted like 70 people from my list like a
Damn.
month ago, and I mean, I couldn't. I mean, it was filled up again in like a week.
Wow.
So there are still apparently quite a few people. I get messages on my YouTube channel, probably about 10 a day still, and I haven't put out new content in over a month, and it was probably a month in between that content and the content before that.
That's
And
insane.
I really am very appreciative and gracious to everybody that's been sticking around, wanting to know. In fact, I got this like really like heartfelt message this week from somebody saying, wow, Anakin, I hope everything's okay. I know you got to be real busy. I really miss your content. You're one of my favorite directors on YouTube. I mean, it's this long, like really like,
Right.
just so, just just a really nice message. And I was like, God, maybe I should think about doing this some more. I mean, and those honestly, that let me tell you guys, that's really that's the kind of stuff that makes me want to come back and do it some more.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I really live for. The money is just a side thing, but that was the other problem is I wasn't making any money too. So
Right. No, I totally get you. I totally get you. Yeah, I started since we've been gone, I started a Dark Souls LP, and just the feedback I've been getting on that, just because I simply love the game so much, um, people can tell, and they're just like, dude, I can't tell you, Anakin, how many people I've gotten to purchase this game. I mean, hundreds of people I've gotten, I guarantee you, to go out and buy this game because, I mean, they were scared off by the difficulty. It's praised as being like one of the hardest games, but it's just like, but that feeling of conquering it, and getting to watch my walkthrough and see how things are done, and see how it's not that bad, and people go and get it, and that's a good feeling to me, is somebody saying, or coming to my stream or coming to YouTube and saying, hey dude, you inspired me to get the game, and me being able to say, no problem, dude, I'm glad that you picked it up, and I hope you have a really good time with it. Yeah,
wow.
it's there is no glamour when it comes to the money here.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, there's absolutely there's nothing to it. It all comes from you guys. So yeah, I do. We appreciate everything that we get from you, and hope we can keep this thing going, and give you guys something to listen to on Mondays.
Indeed, indeed.
But
Well, let's talk about a little bit about some of the games that we've been doing. Some of the things that's been going on now that we're kind of catching everybody back up. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff to cover. There's been an unbelievable number of games, patches, DLC, controversy in developer drama. There's been just tons and tons of stuff, that we can talk about. And of course, we still need to put a decent cap on this, so we don't make an actual 3-month podcast out of the dead silence. But let's talk about some recent stuff. I know one that'll get you fired up. How about that Far Cry 3 trailer? Huh?
Now, I rarely get an erection when I watch the trailer. Just to begin the conversation. But that trailer, like, for those of you who don't know, Far Cry 2 is one of the best games ever made, hands down.
I absolutely agree.
And it is one of my favorite games ever. That's probably one of the games I've beaten the most, that is worth noting because it's such a long game. It's full of it's basically really, really realistic. So like, if you want to go to the gun store, you have to get in a car and drive to the gun store, and your car can bust down. If it busts down, you got to get out and you got to fix it, and you might be in the middle of a gun battle. You might have to sacrifice your car to blow up. I mean, it's just crazy. So to see that there was even a Far Cry 3 coming out at E3 last year, I mean, that first of all made me lightheaded, and I was excited. And then I was sitting there the other day. I was sitting in Anakin's stream. I hadn't even seen this trailer be announced. I actually, 2 days before I saw this trailer, searched everywhere online I could for Far Cry 3 info. Couldn't find anything. Nothing. I'm not lying to you. Literally 2 days before that. So I wasn't really looking. It was the next day that they released this trailer. And Anakin was like, yeah, you gotta check out some stupid movie with Weird Al in it or something.
Shut up.
And I was like, all right, so I go and look at the trailer. And on the trailer, it starts playing this home video thing, and it's like really good graphics. I'm like, damn, this is good. And then like it immediately clicks, like within the first 2 seconds of it, I go, this is Far Cry 3. I was like, I don't know how I know this, I just know it. And I watch it, and oh my god, dude, I've never been so impressed with the trailer, like just so excited anyway, to be able to be thrown into an open world like that on an island. It's going to be a mixture of Far Cry 2 and Far Cry 1, which, by the way, Far Cry 1 has nothing to do with Far Cry 2. It's basically just the name of the game.
The name, well, yeah, the name literally was the only thing.
Yeah, so if you're worried about not playing Far Cry 2 because you didn't play 1, don't worry. There's absolutely nothing you're missing. Um, but yeah, it's just going to be a mixture of an open world type environment, but it won't be in Africa. It'll be in like a tropical thing, and oh, it's just it's so good, man. I'm so excited. And this game probably will have one of the best antagonists I've ever seen. This guy,
Yeah, I love that too.
he
That
he literally is insane. And like in the trailer, I don't want to spoil the trailer, but I'm gonna. He's got his. It's basically like two guys on a vacation, and they're like taking home video of the vacation, and they get like knocked out, and then his buddy wakes up. The video camera's like, I don't know if it's still on or if it's just showing this, but like he like hears the guy, he hears the antagonist talking, and he's like, just pull the trigger, man, just pull the trigger, just pull it, motherfucker, stuff like that. And he's got his friend holding the gun to his head trying to make him pull the trigger. It's basically like, if you kill me right now, if you blow my brains out, you'll live. But he can't do it. And he knows he can't do it because he's just a normal guy, and it would like ruin his whole mind if he pulled the trigger. So he just kills him, and he kills his buddy like right in front of him, and basically you headbutt the guy, you get lucky, and you get out of there. And that's, oh, it's so good. If you haven't seen it, type in Far Cry 3 Stranded US trailer, and you'll see what we're talking about. What do you think about it?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it's every just talking about it makes me want to go watch it again right now
I
because
know.
I've been a fan of that franchise since the very beginning. When they created Far Cry, it was this, you were kind of a one-man army kind of deal, and they weren't reinventing the genre or anything. It was just a first-person shooter, generally
Right.
speaking, but it was so ahead of its time in graphics. The amount of
Mhm.
interaction in the environment, everything was great. And then what happened is they broke off. The original developers went off and made Crisis,
Right.
and then the publisher kept the title rights. So
Right.
then they hired a whole new team to create Far Cry 2 while Crisis was being made, and by Crytek. And then all of a sudden now you got really what happened, in those instances, generally you get two crappy games. You get, maybe the
Mhm.
funding was cut, but the developer kind of hangs out and goes with their own thing. But then maybe the distributor, even though they kept the name, now they hired a whole new group and it's a crappy game. But in this instance, this is one of the first times I've ever seen that. You actually ended up with two utterly fantastic
Mhm.
separate franchises, that both were great,
Right.
and Far Cry 2 really, I mean, it's so underrated. I know so many people who have never
Mhm.
played it.
I know.
And
I know.
well, I remember the same kind of fascination I got from watching this Far Cry 3 trailer when I watched the trailers for Far Cry 2 before it
Yep.
came out, because I remember when they said you could like set something on fire, like,
And it
and a
burns.
whole
Yeah.
field just catches on fire, burns buildings down, sets ammo, off, I mean, all kinds of stuff that
It still fascinates me to do that. To
it's
just,
unbelievable. Yeah, the programming code behind this. I mean, like, who in the world did this? This is unbelievable.
I
So,
mean, yeah, I mean, if you don't know what he's talking about, which I understand, I understand it can be confusing. Like, there are fire effects in this game, so like, depending on where the wind is blowing, if you like throw a Molotov into a dry field, it's going to start burning and burning, and if you throw a Molotov, you're gonna probably you could die very
yep.
easily
Especially if the
because
wind is blowing in your direction
exactly.
in the
You
game.
and before you know it, you could be fighting off some guys, and guess what? Boom, it's right behind you, and you're
Yep.
trapped. And oh, it's just so amazing, man. And
The voice acting was great. The
oh yeah,
environments were amazing. The all the immersion. Like you were saying about going to buy a gun. Going having to go to a gun store and getting in the car to drive there, and having to take
uh-huh.
all the roads and go through these checkpoints and you have to
That's it.
sleep and I mean, it was just like it
Yeah.
was it was ludicrous how much immersion there was.
Not to mention, it had one of the best endings to a game I've ever seen. Oh my God, did you ever actually beat it?
I never finished it completely. I played that game. I've got, I can't tell you how many hours in it. And
Oh
I
yeah,
actually
it's
started it
easy
over.
to not beat it. Yeah.
I started it on PC, and then I restarted it on Xbox just to see the difference. And then I went, I actually ended up playing both of them probably 30 hours,
Uh huh.
and I never did finish it. But I heard about the ending. Somebody actually spoiled the ending for me, so I actually know all about it. And I wanted to go back and actually watch it for myself. But yeah, it
Well,
was.
yeah, it's like it is one of the most creative endings to a game, and it makes you make a choice, and like the choice is like you don't want to make either choice, and it's so good. But if you haven't played Far Cry 2, this is the best time to play it. Not only that, I think it's free for PlayStation Plus users right now.
That's
Um,
right. That's right.
and so if you have PlayStation Plus, you have no reason not to play this game. Um, so yeah, and then this third trailer. What'd you think about the trailer?
Oh, that's what I was getting to is that, the idea of how much fascination I had for the Far Cry 2 trailer. It's that times 10 when I saw everything in this because, the way I saw it on an article somewhere and they were talking about it looked like the first interactive Hollywood action movie. And
Hmm.
it's exactly that. I mean, this looks like Michael Bay the game. That's what
Yeah.
it looks like. It's just unbelievably over the top, and I'm excited as hell for it. I'm
Mhm.
that's a day one purchase for sure.
Oh God, yeah. I had a dream about it. I was like, I had a dream that I got it before it came out, and you know what? I didn't do.
Hmm.
I didn't record or stream it because it was mine. I wasn't sharing that shit with anybody.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. There's certain games I feel the same way. I mean, that's one of those that you don't want to be talking or streaming or recording. You don't want to have your mind
Exactly.
on anything else. You want to be in the game,
Yeah,
enjoying the dialogue, enjoying the interaction. You don't want to be jacking around with hardware and hitting buttons and
exactly.
turning it off and trying to figure out where to cut and all. Forget all that. That's one you want to enjoy.
Exactly. I totally agree. And it's one of those things. If I stream that game, I'm not putting my mic on. It's like it's not coming on.
Awesome.
But yeah, this is definitely one. This was I believe I even said this last year. I was saying, this is my game of the year. If this game came out this year, this would be my game of the year. But it's not. It's coming out this year. So I already know like one of my big contenders is this game. Um, Let me ask you this. There's been off this subject. There's been some bullshit, for lack of a better term, going on with DLC lately. And what I mean by that
Yep.
is, did you hear about the final? Well, first of all, did you hear about the Final Fantasy X-2 bullshit?
I don't know if I know about that one.
So evidently, there is no real ending to the game, and the only way to get the real ending to the game is to buy DLCs that are coming out.
No way.
Yeah, to continue the story. So you've essentially now I haven't played it
That's
myself.
actually kind of smart.
Yeah, I haven't played it myself to confirm. However, I have been hearing that this is huge. That many people are like, there was no real ending to this game. So what's going to happen? And they say, well, you're going to have to pay for a DLC to get it. And then just like the other day, we find out that one of the main characters of Mass Effect 3 is a DLC
Yep,
character.
I saw that. And I don't know if that's the same DLC hoopla going on with Mass Effect 3, but one of them is that the one that's also available literally the day the game
Yeah,
comes out?
with the pre-order or some shit
That's
or a
right.
collector's edition. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the problem is that basically what has happened now is that in the old days the idea of downloadable content was meant for something to give the game kind of an injection to give it and breathe it new life again after the game has come out. That was the original purpose of DLC was
Hmm.
to reinvigorate an existing game to keep people coming back for more. And especially with a game like Modern Warfare or Battlefield or something online, especially MMOs and all that. Anything where somebody is playing and it can kind of your interest can kind of trail off, they need to give you that injection constantly over every 2 to 3 months to keep people going. Well, now they've just basically pulled the curtain back completely and they now are shameless. All these developers
Hmm.
and distributors are shameless in saying, "Oh yeah, here you go. Here's DLC." It's offered literally the day you buy the game. You can come in and pay more money to get more stuff that
Yeah.
was literally developed during the making of the game.
Yep.
That's
It's
just that's
it's
just nonsense.
it's so sickening that somebody. I mean, it's so expletive. It's like people just
Absolutely.
It's exploitation of the it basically is what it is. You could think of it in reverse. You could think of it as, okay, you could buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, or okay, so imagine Modern Warfare 3 was in its original packaging, but you could, instead of saying, okay, you get all 20 maps that are in Modern Warfare 3, you could just say, okay, no, if you don't buy the special edition, you don't get everything that comes in the game. To get everything that comes in the game, period, like even if you were to buy the normal edition, you have to buy the special edition. That's what they're saying. They're saying
Right.
basically that if you pay the actual $60 for the game, you're getting a subbed, like a subtractive edition. It's
Yeah,
like
you're getting the game light. That's what it
the
boils down
game
to.
light, exactly. It's like, so they're essentially upping the prices of their games right in front of us,
Yep. And
and
what's worse is we're paying it.
and
We're
we're
all
paying
paying
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
And let me tell you, with this Mass Effect 3 thing, there will be plenty of people who will grab that DLC. They'll go down to the store, or they'll do a download of the game, and then they'll just grab the DLC at the same time, and they'll just eat the extra $5, $10, whatever it's going to be, and people will move on. And then the distributors get richer, and they'll continue to do these kinds of promotions.
Yep, exactly.
I'm in total disagreement on it. And and speaking of that, let's actually let's talk about DLC a little bit more here in the bigger scale, and that is Call of Duty Elite.
Yeah, see, I don't even deal with that bullshit.
Well, let me tell you, I was against it. I was not for it. When I saw and heard that Modern Warfare 3 was basically Modern Warfare 2.5, and that's kind of what it was sold as, I actually was excited for that. I was perfectly fine for it. I am absolutely shameless in saying that's what I wanted. And I did not, now after the games have been out for quite some time, I did not get that. And I
Mhm.
bought the Elite immediately, day one. I was excited about it. I got it. I said, okay, I am excited for this. I will be playing this game literally for the next 12 months until the next one comes out. I'm on board. I might as well get the Elite. I really wish I had never spent that money.
Oh yeah,
First of all, the Elite service during that entire probably first 60 days that the game was out, the Elite service was down.
right.
And the second thing is, they never had supposedly the mobile apps for Android and on iPhone that they promised, which were again supposedly promised right out of the gate, that would allow you to do clan setups, set your classes up, do all this stuff behind the scenes, which I was actually on board for. I thought, well, that's pretty slick. I mean, start tying in your phone apps and stuff with the game and community. I'm on board. Those literally just came out 3 weeks ago, I think. And this is, I mean, and even then they weren't nearly as full featured as they claimed they were going to be. And then they claimed all these other things. They sold us all on all this amazing amount of content. None of it's there. It's all a joke. And then to top it all off, remember the pitch was, if you buy Elite, you get all these map packs and everything, immediately. First of all, you get them you quicker, but then you also pay less because, if you want all this content, you pay the $50 up front, and you save yourself, $20, $30 over the long haul. Which
Right.
again, I was like, okay. I mean, you get all this other stuff and you save a few bucks. All right, I'm fine. I'm in. Well, the content now is goofy crap. We're talking like character skins, and they're pitching. You get a bunch of new prestige levels now. 5 new prestige levels and 400 new ranks is what they just released this week. Ranks and prestiges? I mean, what is that? I mean, that serves no purpose at this point. There's already
Hmm.
15 prestige levels. 400 ranks. Or what? 400 new ranks. It's like, I'm not paying for icons and emblems here. I'm paying
Yep.
for content. And they released 2 maps. The game was out 3 months. They released 2 maps.
Yep.
Then it's out another month. They release 1 map in the next pack. 1 map. And I'm just like, hang on here. What the hell's going on? And so really, what's happened here is, I think the Elite service has been an absolute bomb. It's a nightmare. It's just I haven't heard anybody yet be happy with it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, man, in order for map packs to work, the game has to be out for a little bit longer than this. I mean, I these maps are pretty much still new to me. I mean, granted, I don't play the game that much, but dude, you gotta make people want a map pack. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And like, that means you literally have to exhaust, not just. Okay, well, we played this with this map a few times. You got to exhaust it. People are like, man, I want to see something new. I want to see something new so bad. Then you throw out a map pack. And I mean, remember COD 4? How
Oh
long it was out
God.
before
Oh my
before that map
God.
pack?
Yeah. That was
And
forever.
yeah, and you're like, "Oh, sweet." And then, it was like playing a brand new game again. It keeps it fresh until that year is up. And these guys are just like, "Here's a new map every day." It's just like, I don't know, it's just stupid. And yeah, that's the main reason I didn't get the prestige or the elite service was because I don't plan on using any of that shit. Like
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not I'm
it's
not
such a
a
waste.
yeah, I'm not a COD like I don't it, and this is going to sound like crap, but for most of the crap that comes in elite, it's for people who want to think that they are amazing at COD.
I agree. I
It's for
absolutely
people
agree.
who yeah, man, I'm part of a clan on elite, and it's you suck at Call of Duty, okay? Just
You know,
accept it.
by the way, I got to tell you that I was playing Modern Warfare 3 just an hour before we started the podcast tonight, and I get in with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. He's got a group of players going, and these guys, they were kind of talking like, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get in here and we tear some people up, and come on with us. We'll show you how to play. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, fine. I'll play along. Show me some things. These guys, I mean, I was in the leader, I was in the lead of all of everybody in this lobby. I was in the lead of all of them the entire evening. And they were trying to tell me, "Don't go over there. Don't go over there, Anakin. Don't go. No, we're not playing like that. You need to come do this." And I'm like, "Dude, when you've got let's just go ahead and say when you get to 50% of the kills that I have right now, where you're at, then you can go ahead and start giving me some advice." And it's exactly like what you're it's exactly what you're saying. These guys, they all claim that they're, these elite COD players and they know all these things, they do call outs, and I'm just like, man, I'm not even that good. And you guys are claiming, that you're trying to
Exactly.
do, all these strategies. And I mean, I ended up, carrying the team. And I'm just like, okay, guys, come on. Don't, don't put,
Exactly.
this is exactly the kind of problem with the COD community is, you've got all these people who just, they just like you're talking about, they claim that they're amazing and they're really not. And then Elite just boosts their ego even more.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely definitely stupid. I agree. I run into them all the time, and that's one reason I can't stand playing COD sometimes. It just bugs me to no end.
Speaking of
Um,
COD, by the way, why don't we switch gears for here for just a second and talk about some news that popped up? I don't know if you caught some of this. Did you see the whole hoopla between the Activision marketing department and that French website Gameblog?
no, no, I don't think so.
Let me just recap here very very briefly. I bet you might have heard about some of this.
Was it the iron thing?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I did.
Okay, the whole thing was well, no, actually no, that didn't have any that was part of it. Okay, that was kind of related. It was around the same time. Gameblog though broke the news, the official news, because of Amazon UK. Amazon UK posted a release date and a item number for Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Oh, really?
Gameblog picked it up. They were the very first website to pick up the listing for this, and they were like, "Oh my God, okay, it's official. The new Call of Duty game coming out this November is going to be Black Ops 2." Well, what was funny about that is I was like, "Yeah." I was seriously, I mean, dead serious. I'm like, who didn't see that coming? I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, did anyone really not think that the next COD game was not going to be Black Ops 2? I mean, there wasn't even a secret that Treyarch was literally working on Black Ops 2
Yeah,
when
no
Modern
kidding.
Warfare 3 came out. But anyway, that was beside the point. I actually was like, yeah, no kidding, Black Ops 2. But anyway, Activision got completely bent out of shape over this, and they asked Gameblog to remove the article. Now, remember, this is the internet, gang. I mean, this is ridiculous. Once a fairly well-known site posts information, asking them to remove it literally like a week after the fact is a little late. I mean,
Yeah.
this is, the word's out. And not to mention all these other sites have picked up on it. So who cares? Well, anyway, Activision got so pissed off, and Gameblog said, "No, hey, we're a news site. This was news. We're posting it." So Activision, here's what they did. They said, "Okay, Gameblog," and they're actually a fairly well-known site over in Europe. Okay, they're a French website. They're fairly well known.
Mm-hmm.
Activision said, "Screw you guys. We're blacklisting you.
Oh
No,
shit.
no. We're basically going to put you in a press blackout. You don't get any review copies. You get no content, no press releases, and we do not recognize you any longer as any game information website."
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah,
Are
and
you
let me tell
kidding?
you, and here's the thing. This is a great lesson for game developers and game distributors everywhere. Who is the worst kind of company to piss off? It's the media.
Yeah, no
You know,
kidding.
this is the stupidest thing that Activision could have done. They're like, yeah, screw you guys. Who listens to you? You're just some game website that people go and read stuff at every day. So, so Gameblog, this actually ended up making the rounds on all the major sites. It was everywhere, and of course, all these other gaming sites came to their defense, saying, "Hey, look, this is freedom of press here. This is ridiculous." So all these other websites, started covering the drama and the hoopla, and sure enough, somebody at Activision realized, "Oh crap, we we completely screwed up." And
No kidding.
they basically backpedaled and said, "Oh, it was a big misunderstanding. Don't worry, we're gonna give you all the same credentials that we gave you before. Don't worry, it's fine."
Yeah,
So
we made a mistake. Sorry.
exactly. So anyway,
Jeez.
I actually thought that was a really interesting bit of drama in the Call of Duty world here recently. But the Iron deal was also an interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
that was
Well,
crazy.
yeah. So like somebody was like, "Have you guys seen this? The new CODs like COD Iron Wolf or something?" I'm like, and I went to the site and I'm like, how does this prove that this is? It's like this is the COD. It's like this is not. It's a website with a with a little banner on it is all it
Right.
was, and I'm like, this doesn't prove anything. And I was like, they wouldn't release this soon. Was
Right.
was was my main thing. You wouldn't put this out that quickly, and sure enough, it turned out to be like some random person just making a fake website.
Exactly. Yeah. And somebody was playing, basically playing a joke. And the worst part of it was when I was there, I don't remember it right now, but there was something really fishy about it. And I remembered that it was there was a email address. There was an email address, send an email, but then you could type in your email for an email newsletter. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you send an email to this email address? I mean, I was like, that doesn't even sound like some weird viral thing. This just sounds fake.
Right, right.
That's how it came across to me. And so of course I didn't really buy into it. I looked at it, I was like, something doesn't feel right. So anyway, of course, it ended up being a huge scam, and a lot of the gaming news sites did pick up on it, and Gameblog actually did pick up on it as well. But yeah, it was. I mean, I remember it was all over YouTube. Everybody thought, "Oh my God, this is huge!" It's called Iron Wolf, and I'm like, "Really? Really, guys?" And it got everybody. This guy, whoever made this, I never actually saw, who came up with it, but whoever did that basically trolled the entire gaming community, and he got away with it. That's what was great.
And he did it well.
He
Yeah,
did, he did it very well. Yes.
but think about how hard it was to do. He could have made that in Photoshop in 2 minutes and thrown it up on a website. It's just like,
It's so true.
yeah, it's just like it's so quick. But anyway, enough COD. I'm tired of
Indeed.
COD.
Indeed.
Tired of COD. I have been playing one of the new games that came out that that has it was pretty hyped, and I was looking forward to it. I finally got my hands on it, and that's Kingdoms of Amalur:
Yes.
Reckoning. And this was the game uh, developed by Todd McFarlane and all these other people. One of them was a best-selling writer or something. I don't remember what he wrote. I don't even remember his name, but it's evidently some fantasy stuff. Hold on a minute. I'm going to get this information for you. It was from the minds of R.A. Salvatore, Todd McFarlane, and Ken Ralston.
Salvatore, by the way, is an absolutely amazing science fiction and fantasy author.
Yeah,
The
see,
guy is great.
I've never read any of his stuff, but I I started playing this game, and it's I'm a big fan of RPGs anyway, and so this game it hooked me, and I got into it, and you can definitely tell that this game was supposed to have been an MMO, and
Yep.
that it is actually in the works to become an MMO off the IP. But it's a very fun game. I do recommend it if you've I've gotten a little tired of Skyrim, which probably hasn't happened yet. Uh, but I do have to rub that in your face and TGN's face, which I know that you were more on my side than they were. But I remember being in this meeting with all the people over at TGN, and
I remember that.
do
They
you
were
remember
like,
this?
yeah, Skyrim's going to kind of be this niche game. There's not really
And
going to be too many
do you
people
remember
play
how
it.
defensive I got when they said that? You remember how upset and angry I got, and how bad I wanted to rip a throat out
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
because of
what's funny is even I mean, I wasn't even that interested, and I didn't think it was going to be obviously near the as huge as it is. I still thought for sure it's going to be overshadowed by Call of Duty and Battlefield and all the other fall releases. But I still said this game absolutely deserves attention. There's a very big following for this game, and of course, you were like, oh no, you idiots! This is
yeah.
the biggest game of 2011. And I'm like, I don't know about that, Viridia, but it's going to be definitely a good sized game. There's going to be a good following, but whatever. And all those other clowns are like, nah.
Yeah, yeah. The gaming news were sitting there, and they were like, no, dude, Skyrim is just gonna blow by. It's gonna blow by like the wind.
Yeah, like they thought there was going to be like maybe a week's worth of videos to put out on
Yeah,
YouTube about it.
yeah,
And that would be
yeah.
it.
I was like, are you kidding me? And these guys are so smug. It's just like, yeah, it's gonna be. And I'm like, okay, well, we will see, won't we? And I just wanted to rub that in. Just take a minute to open the
Uh,
wound up, put some salt and lemon in it, and just rub it in,
Indeed,
and
indeed.
just
And,
say,
over there, by the way, they actually did change their tune in practice, if not in apology, because of course they covered it more than almost any other game for like a month.
yeah, it's because, yeah, exactly. You're going to realize that you made a humongous mistake and an error in realizing that, guess what? MMOs are not the only thing out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. I mean no disrespect to TGN.
Maybe a
The,
little.
the gaming noobs are amazing. I will give them that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Fantastic.
but yeah, so I to tell you the truth, it's even gotten to me, like the amount of just fandom. The thing about it is that I am not a big fan of super hyped things. Like, it bugs me. I mean, it rubs me raw, I would rather my games be like Dark Souls and quiet and be amazing. And it's just like, yes, there are quite a few people who like this, but it's not like you're not making stupid arrow to the knee jokes and crap like that about it.
That was the biggest meme of 2011.
Oh
Again,
yeah.
for a little known game that was going to sneak by, one phrase came out of that game being one of the biggest internet memes of all of 2011.
Oh yeah. It was amazing. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. Like, I mean, I thought it was, obviously stupid and ridiculous, and I never said it, but I was just like, oh my god. But yeah, it became this phenomenon. It's like insane to think about. But it's getting on my nerves, like how much people are talking about it. It's like finally I'm just like, all right, leave Skyrim alone for a minute. Just calm down. There's other games. But then I don't know if you have checked this out because you're not a Skyrim aficionado, but have you checked out the Skyrim workshop?
I did. I actually I read about it and I went and checked it out and I was like, all right, this is interesting. Again, this is kind of going back to that injection where I was talking about bringing a game back to life.
Well, It's absolutely phenomenal. So if you guys are, if you guys aren't playing Skyrim on the PC, you've lost it. Like, I mean, it's honestly, with the addition of this workshop,
Hmm.
it makes the console, in my opinion, it makes the console versions completely obsolete. The amount of mods, the amount of things you can do is just insane. So not only that, if say you're new to the PC world and you don't know what a mod is even, well, this workshop has made it literally the simplest thing ever. So you go into the workshop, say you're tired of fighting dragons and not being able to carry all their bones and scales around because they weigh 15 pounds each, and you just want to make them weigh a little bit less, and you're looking on the mod page and boom, you see a mod that makes them weigh 5 pounds each instead of 15. Well, guess what? All you gotta do is click one button and boom, the mod is on your game. You don't even have to do anything. You
Yep.
click subscribe, you turn your game on, and the mod is installed. And this isn't just that kind of mod. This is any mod, a texture mod, a character change mod, my favorite mod, which is the Better Curves mod for the women. I mean, you turn it on and boom. I mean, super smooth curves. Like, I mean, you would think these things would take so much effort to install, but they don't. It's amazing. I cannot tell you how awesome it is, and how many mods I've used. Just the mods on the Steam thing, the Steam Client Workshop, and I can't tell you how much better my game looks. I mean, even little aesthetic things as putting foliage in some of the towns, or making the towns more lively with NPCs, or there's even mods now that are making all of the major cities open world. So literally you don't have to go into a loading screen to get into the city. It's just a smooth walk into the gate. And it's absolutely amazing. I even found a mod that takes, so all the like falling petals and snow, right?
Right.
They are rendered in like 128 by 128 pixels. It takes them and it knocks them down to like 60 pixels, 60 by 60 or something like that. And what it does is it makes your game run faster, just because it's not having to render as many pixels when there's a leaf falling, but you can't tell the difference. And I mean, it's literally just these little things. Like, even if your computer's not a beast, it can still run the game because of some of these things, that's changing. And there's so many mods being added every day: new weapons, new gear, new quests, completely new places to visit. That it is amazingly revitalized. And I even went and sold my PS3 copy of Skyrim. I got rid of it
Wow.
because don't need it. I got the PC version. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't personally condone cheating, which I consider modifying weight scales to be cheating, but
Well,
I
but we talked about this before, and that was modding a single player game. I
right,
mean,
yeah,
that's your own business, as long as it doesn't really affect anybody else, right?
exactly, yeah. If it doesn't affect anybody else, go, have at it. I mean, if that's what
Sure.
makes the game fun. Um, but it's just like, it's just one of those things that I personally, I'm having such a good time getting these mods and just seeing what they do and see how they in dude, there's a My Little Pony mod. It changes all the dragons into My Little Ponies, and it is the funniest shit I have ever seen. It's like, I mean, I don't get this stupid brony bullshit. I don't know if you've heard of that
Oh
term.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't get the. I mean, it's obviously just a humongous troll movement, but these things are hilarious. They're just so like happy, and they're just flying around trying to kill you with breathing fire and rainbows and shit.
Yes.
Hilarious, dude. It is absolutely funny. But I mean, these are the types of things you can look forward to. Just literally having fun with the game and having a good time. And so yeah, that's what I've been working on. Amalur, that, and then I did something pretty interesting that I think that you and I should stream together.
Okay.
I I've modded my Grand Theft Auto San Andreas game, and I installed San Andreas multiplayer. Have you ever heard of an RP role playing server?
I actually have the old San Andreas for PC, and I did the multiplayer patch whenever they
Oh, you
first
did.
threw that out there. Yeah, I had a blast with it.
Okay, yeah. So so they have these what are called role-playing servers now, where like you go in and you role play the character that you are. So I mean, like if you're driving down the street, you hit somebody with your car, you hit another car, you get out of the car, make sure they're okay, ask them if there's anything you can do to help or anything. I mean, if you shoot somebody, there's a whole police force in here. I mean, like literally like 20 cops, like that are real people,
Now,
and they
see,
have
this
a
is news to me. I don't know about these RP servers then. That sounds
yeah.
pretty over the top. I knew about the multiplayer patch, and I actually did that for quite a while. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, well, these guys, yeah, it's like 20 cops, and like they take their jobs seriously. I mean, these guys are like dedicated people, and they apply in a forum, and then they basically have to do good deeds around the city to show that they're worthy of being a cop and get recommendations and shit. And yeah, I mean, it's insanely fun if you've got friends playing, and you can do stuff. I mean, like if you're like a criminal and if you go in and commit murder, well, guess what? The cops are on. You got to get away from them. And it's like you can't metagame. So like even though they can see your name, if they don't get your ID, so if they don't ask for your ID in game, they can't tell who you are.
Right.
Because they don't know who you are. They don't know your name. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty fun. I've been having a lot of fun with that as well. As some of the other stuff, and that's pretty much all the gaming I've been doing.
Well, let's talk about something that'll actually be right up your alley. That I thought again, in gaming news, this was very, very curious to know where it's all going to go. Tim Schafer's Kickstarter project. Did you keep track of that?
Very little, very little. Tim Schafer, I enjoyed. What do you do? Psychonauts.
Psychonauts, yeah.
And the Jack Black game, I didn't like that one.
Yeah, what was that? Brutal Legend?
Brutal Legend, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that great, but Psychonauts obviously is a classic, and Tim Schafer has he's always had the funny bone of the gaming industry, at his beck and call. Everybody loves him. The guy really is adored by adventure gamer, the adventure gaming community.
That's what I heard, is that he was going back to doing that type of game. Is that true?
Yeah, well, so the story goes, for those of you who didn't keep up with it, I'll summarize this very quickly, is that Tim Schafer wanted to go to a major studio and say, hey, I want to make a side-scrolling adventure game like the old days. And they said, no, nobody's going to play that. There's no interest. So he goes, okay. So he goes over to Kickstarter. Somebody tells him about Kickstarter. He kept up to it a little bit, or whatever, and he goes, what the heck? I'll throw this idea out there and let's see if anybody's actually interested in a side-scrolling adventure game. Send me money and I'll make a game. He wanted $300,000. That's what he wanted, and he was trying to see how long it would take. I think it was going to be 30 days or something, and he was going to leave it up there and see if he could actually, get the money funded, through this new term now called crowdfunding. So threw it out there, and he broke every record that Kickstarter ever had by like 100 times over. He made $1 million in 48 hours. 48 hours. Yeah. And he is now at 2.2 million that he has gotten from crowdfunding in this one project, and it's only been up there like 2 weeks.
Holy crap.
So Notch actually makes a comment during all this. Notch of Minecraft fame, of course. He said that he's made so much money from Minecraft, he's a huge fan of Tim Schafer, and he was going to bankroll specifically Psychonauts 2.
No way.
And so now there's a bunch of talk now that Notch is going to get involved and put up a bunch of money. And Tim Schafer's now he's got more work than he knows what to do with. Not only does he have a partner and a financier in Notch, but then he's also got all these fans out there that have literally put their money where their mouth is and given Tim Schafer now over $2 million to create a project that he literally budgeted $300,000 for.
That's
so yeah, this is it's very, very interesting times that we live in when you can literally be a developer or a business person and talk directly to your audience and say, you give me money, I give you what you want.
No shit.
And each individual can give him the amount of money right there. And remember, too, the people that gave him all this money, they don't get a free copy of the game.
Exactly.
They still have to buy the game when it comes out.
Exactly.
That's what's crazy.
Well, it's
So,
like I don't know, like it makes me want to donate, you know. It makes me want to have that game and say, yeah, I helped create this game, you know. It's like I donated money to this, you know, and my money went to making this awesome project. Now I just wonder, what is he gonna make with it? You can't make a
well,
$2 million freaking adventure game.
well, and that's what he said. He actually said that the $300,000 budget was cutting so many corners and doing things like, the music was going to be basically like he was only going to have 10 tracks and he was going to use all 10 tracks for the entire game. And the tracks were going to be written in something like, Fruity Loops or Reason or some off-the-shelf software by somebody who was decent at it. And he was just going to, spend $10,000 on music, and that was it. Well, now, now that he's got all this, all this money at his at his fingertips here to do whatever,
Mhm.
he's going to hire like a full orchestra to compose literally the entire game. And
Oh wow.
now he's going to hire all these voice actors instead of hiring like maybe a couple of really well-rounded voice actors that would do like maybe 10 voices each. Now he's actually going to hire real voice actors for all the full cast of the game. So the money will definitely be put to good use. It's not like he's pocketing this. And I actually believe it. I think this guy is really, based on his reputation with the gaming community for as long as he's been doing this, I 100% believe that this guy is not pocketing that money and he really will use it for the project.
Oh yeah,
So,
he'd be done if he didn't. He'd be
oh,
ruined.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that, sure, he could walk away and be a millionaire right now and never make any game, but this guy would never work again, and I don't think he's that type. I don't even think he's in it for the money.
Oh, he'd
This
become infamous. Yeah, he'd become hated.
Yeah, and these days with the internet and everything, I mean, I don't think you could buy your way out of that much hatred.
No,
So, but I
that's
thought
very
that, I
interesting.
figured since last time we were really deep into the cast and everything, you had all those problems trying to find Psychonauts, and then you finally got it, and then you went back and played
Yeah,
it. And,
I actually, I'm going to shout out, since we're on the subject, I'm going to shout out one of my casters, Red Wolf. He actually purchased the game for me on Steam because I couldn't find it.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. And I mean, you've applauded all the features of that game and the humor and the story and everything. So I mean, there's a very good possibility that Psychonauts 2 is going to be in your future.
God, that would be, oh, that would be so awesome.
Yeah,
That would
so
be
I'm
awesome.
excited about that. And again, these are very interesting times to talk about, developers who are literally making games that the community wants. The community is paying for the development of the game that they want.
Yeah.
And I just think that's exciting.
Oh
So
yeah, I agree.
so let's talk about did you see the Max Payne 3 trailer? Any of those trailers?
I did. The the thing is I never played Max Payne 1 or 2 to completion. I played them, but I never beat them.
Man,
Um,
good games. I really enjoyed those games. It's hard to go back to them now, but I really enjoyed them at the time. And Max Payne 2, I actually beat that game 3 times. It's one of the only games in my entire life I beat more than once. And I beat that game 3 times. I really enjoyed it. And now that Rockstar's behind this new, the new engine and the whole new look of the game and all this, they've got some major bucks going behind this game. I'm really, really excited about that one. They've got a lot of new features that are supposed to be pretty awesome. The bullets, when the bullets hit the characters, the body, the ragdoll physics will actually react to those spots. Uh,
really.
so if you shoot a character in the shoulder or whatever, they spin around. You shoot them in the leg, and it kicks their leg out from under them when they fall. And then they respond when they actually hit the ground. They respond and try to hold themselves up or crawl away or what. There's a lot going into this that a lot of people I think have missed because there's a tech like a technical engine behind the scenes video out there of what's going into this game, and they're actually using a ton of new features that they've developed that they're going to push in this game and then perfect it in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Why
So
is Rockstar so awesome?
I can't figure it out.
Why do they make perfect games
There's
every
too
time?
much awesome in that one developing.
Yeah, they're and that's something else we never got to talk about was the Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
how amazing that looks. It is just phenomenal looking.
It's
Um,
hard to believe that you can play that in real time.
yeah, I know. It's pushing it. It's pushing what we can do on consoles and PC, and or not PC at consoles, but it's pushing a limit. And not only that, I like this idea that there may be multiple protagonists. Have you heard about this?
No.
So it's pretty much been confirmed that the protagonist speaking is Rossetti from Vice City. Uh, so that game was back in the 80s. So this guy, he's rounding his 50s now. It's the same. I can't remember his name. It's the same voice actor who did Tommy Vercetti in I'm pretty sure that's his name. God, it's been forever since I played Vice City. But yeah, the guy who did his voice, and it's the same guy. And then if you watch the trailer, there's a few the people are pointing out that it keeps showing different people multiple times. One of them looks like CJ maybe from San Andreas.
Right.
So it looks like there might be multiple protagonists throughout the story. And I just think it would be so cool if they brought the three protagonists from 3 Vice City and San Andreas together and kind of like melded their stories together in a way. So it was like kind of like the games you were playing back in the day are actually they were precursors to this game. You know what I mean?
Right. And and after playing all those, now there's a reason that you have played them, so that you have all this backstory for all these characters.
Exactly. And a lot of people are like, I can't remember his damn name because it's been so long. But the main character from 3, he was silent. He was a silent protagonist.
Yeah.
And but his story was kind of told in Vice City, or San Andreas rather.
Right.
They told his story a little bit, and so I mean, even he could make some kind of an appearance. That would be so neat. But this game, I'm really curious to get the end result on how big it's going to be, because it's supposed to be the biggest Grand Theft Auto ever.
I just can't even imagine it getting any bigger. That's what's crazy about it. I don't even know how they can. At some point, these games they're literally going to take half a lifetime to get all the content out of it. It's just literally just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane to think, but I mean, you've got games that already blow your mind, like the size of Just Cause 2 is,
it's huge.
It's huge. And then, even Far Cry 2 is humongous. And I mean, it's just crazy to think that San Andreas could be, this game could be bigger than than Liberty City,
Oh yeah.
From GTA 4. How can it be any bigger than that? It's like with all the content. And I'm not talking I'm talking because Just Cause is big, but there's hardly anything going on.
Right.
In Grand Theft Auto, there's so much detail, there's so much bustling in the crowds, and there's so much going on at a time that it's tough to render all that.
Well, it's certainly exciting. Rockstar is obviously, they're one of the leading developers out there. They kind of set the stage for a lot of these other companies to compete with. They raise the bar every time they come out with a game. So, leave it to them to probably come out with the biggest game world ever, with GTA 5. I mean, there's no doubt. And Max Payne 3, it looks like it's not going to be a slouch at all. They're going to do some really amazing character animation. A lot of great physics are being built into it. And, of course, you're going to have all the Rockstar polish with voice acting, story, character development, all of that. So I'm really looking forward to that one as well. That's going to be a biggie.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it. What I'm planning on doing is going back, and playing the first 2, to completion to get the story, because
the first one, the story is a must. If you're really interested in that character at all, the first one is where the story is built, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard it's amazing, and I just couldn't get. I just never. I don't know why I didn't finish it, but I think that game was meant to be played on the PC too.
It is, absolutely. I would never want to play either one of those on a console, unfortunately. It's just one of those things that And now that you've got a PC, it's time for you to go back and pick some of these up. And by the way, I actually bought those games twice. I bought Max Payne 1 and 2 on a deal that they had on Steam not that long ago, and I think you can pick up Max Payne as a a bundle or whatever. I got both of those for $7 together.
I wish I had taken advantage of that.
But
they're like $10 a piece now.
Yeah, and really $10 is a little much. Definitely look for it on a day, on some kind of sale. I'm sure they're going to have maybe another big sale coming up during maybe a spring break week or something like that. I'm sure they'll do something soon. But look for those and pick those up really cheap. They're really great games. I don't know if GOG, Good Old Games, has those. Relatively cheaply over there. You may want to check, but yeah, Steam honestly is hard to beat. So it's they'll be cheap again, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to. Steam deals are pretty neat. I just picked up Deus Ex for $10 too.
Yeah, I saw that today. I was like, man, maybe I should get that.
Yeah,
So I was actually playing an Xbox version that a friend of mine loaned me, and I got into it. But honestly, it did feel like a game that really needed to be on PC. So I wanted to go back and start it again on PC. So I may pick that up too.
yeah, it's not a bad deal. I guess it's been. I finally got a PC, by the way, guys.
Yeah, if you hadn't picked that up by now.
I mean, it's been a while since the cast, and since then, I got a decent PC, so finally I can do some PC gaming. I'm not left out,
Indeed.
and I've been just, I mean, it's amazing. I am a PC gamer, like at heart. Like I enjoy the mouse and keyboard, and I've never used it before. It was so natural, so fluid to pick that thing up and just like start going to town with it. On a first-person shooter, it felt so right. And I'm trying out these games that I never had a chance to try out. Like somebody was trying to get me to play League of Legends, and I'm just, man,
Yeah.
it's not friendly to noobs. I'll tell you that.
No, it is not. I tried it. I got beat up about playing it. A bunch of people wanted me to do it, and I tried it. And it's just another, what do they call it, MOBA, kind of
Oh,
game. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, sure, it's well done, but and I know there's a massive community for it. It's very, it's the people who play it are extremely passionate about it, and I respect that. But it's just it's too cutesy for me. I don't like games that are that cutesy.
well, it's not that for me. It's like if a game is insanely hard to learn, it's hard for me to find the time to try and learn it. Because if I'm going to take the time to learn something like that, it better become part of my life, for a while. And
Yeah.
and I just don't see that happening with Sammy and all that, going
Right,
on.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, games like that, and then all these Steam deals. Like, have you played The Binding of Isaac?
No, I want to.
That
It's-
game is pretty good, man. It's tough, but it's pretty good. And then all of my guys, the awesome guys coming over to my stream, have been great in recommending games. And one of the other ones was Dungeons of Dreadmore. It's a indie game, actually.
that one I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it either. And it's like a dungeon crawler, but you basically have one life,
Oh
and
God.
you have to see how far you can make it down each time. It's pretty fun. Let's see, I picked up The Witcher.
The Witcher's
Uh,
good. The Witcher's
yeah,
very good. I really enjoyed playing that one.
yeah, it's a very very fun game. I'll tell you what. I I figured out, like, we never said our best games of last year.
I was gonna bring that up.
We never did. But I can tell you right now that I found the worst game of last year, and
What
that
was that?
it was Duke Nukem. It was
Oh, ouch.
it is so atrociously horrible. I cannot stand to play it. Like, I bought
Worst
it.
game? Worst game of the year, really?
hmm
God,
Even
jeez.
worse, even worse than Brink.
Oh my God.
Have you played it? Have you played Duke
I,
Nukem?
I actually have not. I own it. I have it sitting on a shelf. I bought it on one of those crazy deals for $3. I bought it on
Just
Xbox, brand new, $3.
throw it in the trash. It's horrible. I am not lying, dude. It is so bad, and I don't care if this offends anybody because you're wrong. It's not an opinion. It's just truth. It is like so poor, and it feels so dated, man. It feels like this game should have come out when Duke Nukem 3D came out. It's like it's not even as fun as Duke Nukem 3D, and the voice acting is so bad. The character models are bad. Everything about this game is just atrocious to me. It's not fun in the least. I mean, of course, you're gonna have fun shooting things. When
Right.
you're not gonna have fun shooting something. But even that loses its appeal. I mean, the weapons are standard. You got like a three burst, like alien pistol and rifle. These games should be. It should have been so much better than that. And I bought it for like it was like $4, $3 or $4 on a
And you still
Steam.
wanted a refund.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing about Steam that makes me mad is that I can't return the damn games.
Yeah, that is the plight of the PC gamer. Whenever you make a commitment to a game, I mean that's it. You own it, and that's there's no going back down to the store. But of course, that's all going away anyway, even with consoles. I mean we're going to be buying everything on the PS4 and the Xbox, whatever the heck they call it. Rango or Durango is the code name for the next Xbox right now. So the thing is I'm telling you, they may come with a disc drive, but we're going to be buying, I guarantee you, probably 75% of our content we're going to be buying digital.
Oh
And
yeah.
because, that's what they want to do. They want to get rid of GameStop. And 10 years from now, GameStop will be a distant memory. We won't be talking about them because nobody will be able to trade games in. There won't be any way to do it.
Yeah.
And we will all
Exactly.
own whatever we buy, and that will be what we own. And
No, here's the way I see it. GameStop will become the middleman, and it'll be like if you pre-order through GameStop's website, then you'll get this and that and then it's like it'll be
right.
all that bull crap. They rely so heavily on all their pre-order bull crap. I'm so tired of it. I'm so
Yeah,
tired of pre-order stuff. It's like Seth the other day. He's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't pre-order Mass Effect because you get this and this," and I'm like, "I'm not doing that." I hate pre-ordering for
refuse.
one.
Yeah, I
I,
refuse to pre-order.
I hate giving money when I don't get anything immediately. I hate it.
Absolutely. I agree, and the thing is I don't even understand the purpose of it. It's like, they're supposed to gauge the number of copies to send to a store based on pre-orders. And I'm like, "No. Just send just send the number of copies to every store equally. And then you know what? If they run out, then they move copies around. I mean, the idea that I have to basically give you money to I have to put my game copy on layaway at the local store to get one? No,
Yeah,
ridiculous. I'm not doing that.
exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. And oh, it just makes me so mad. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully that goes away too. But
Yeah,
I am very. We had a discussion about what we thought the. We got a tip that there might be a PVR even integrated into the Xbox.
yeah,
You remember that discussion we
I
had?
remember. Yeah,
And that brought up a whole topic that we need to talk about Sunday about what our dreams for the new console. Because that's one of the things I never really thought about. I never thought that might be something that I would want in a console, but that'd be pretty neat, especially with some of these PC games that I'm already seeing that have that built in, the ability to record video.
yeah,
It's becoming like a necessity almost. It seems like
absolutely.
to be able to record what you do. I mean, me personally, I like archiving my playthroughs so that I can go back and rewatch them if I want to and say, "Oh man, that was awesome when I did that," or "Yeah, that was a good time I had. That was a good memory," or whatever. Um, so yeah, these are some things that I would love to have in a console, like a PVR and even the ability to use it as a direct TV or dish receiver. That'd be insane.
Well, at this point, that is what they're saying. That the new consoles are basically not going to be gaming consoles. They are going to be entertainment centers.
Hmm.
And you will turn this on, and you will either choose to watch your cable TV, because they're all going to have basic cable receivers. It'll all be digital. Because they've already got deals right now on the current Xbox to be able to tie in with your local cable provider. Time
Hmm.
Warner, Comcast, Rogers, even up in Canada. They have all of these things. You can actually install an app for your cable company right now and start watching digitally on your Xbox
Oh,
over
I didn't
your
know that.
yeah. And so the newer ones are going to be your cable TV box, your DVR, PVR, whatever you want to call it. It'll be your Blu-ray player because Microsoft has already stated that the newest box will be fully compatible with the current media. In that case, meaning Blu-rays is what they're going to adopt. And even though they lost the old HD DVD war whenever they were trying to fight that, but and then on top of that, you're going to have your games. You're going to have your internet access, your Facebook account, your Pandora, your Spotify, Netflix, Hulu. All basically every kind of media that you could ever want is going to come in this box. And they've tried to do that already, and they've succeeded extremely well. And Sony is trying as well. They're not succeeding quite as well as Xbox is, but they're getting there with the PS3. And I'm telling you, this is all just a precursor to how they're developing those new ones. And when those new ones finally hit the scene, they're just going to be these. I mean, there will be people own those that will never play a game on them. I
Oh yeah, oh
guarantee it.
easily, yeah. And the thing is, with the internet, I mean, I'll tell you one thing right now. One thing that these consoles need to do, and it's the simplest thing. When you open the console box for the first time, there needs to be a wireless keyboard included, okay?
Absolutely.
And a beautiful, well-working browser that, conforms with Java and Flash and all these things that, you know, I don't like using my controller to navigate the internet.
Yeah, it's
If it came,
terrible.
if it came with a freaking built-in receiver for a keyboard and a mouse, how awesome would that be?
Well, the other thing that they're supposed to be doing is that, of course, the Xbox is going to capitalize on the Kinect. And I've been keeping up with this, and they've already stated that the Kinect 2 will be integrated directly into the box with full voice activation support, facial recognition, 3D time lapse or 3D uh, gosh dang it, time of flight camera, which is basically what it uses now, but they're going one step further with it. They're quadrupling the resolution that the camera currently sees. So now that it will be able to pick up literal finger movements instead of just arms and
Oh wow.
big blobs for hands, they're going to go extremely high tech with this because the problem was before they needed the processor to be in the hardware, but that made the hardware go up dramatically, price wise. And they,
Right.
they decided to bump it back down, and they went with a software approach, which is why there's still much lag.
Right.
With the new one, they're building all of this into the unit, and they're making it a hardware sensor, and it's all going to be done in the processor. And now there won't be, supposedly the lag will almost be non-existent. So you'll
Mm.
walk up and go, Xbox do this or Xbox do that, and it's going to be immediate. And then you'll be able to open a web browser or or you'll be able to like say on screen like Facebook status post, hey gang, what's going on? And then it'll just post it, and you could walk away. You will never even touch a controller or a keyboard or or anything. It'll be
Mm.
seamless. And Sony, of course, has gotten word that a lot of this is going on, and they're creating a Connect competitor right now. They're
Are they?
dumping Move. Yeah, the Move is gone, and they're not really going to support it beyond this generation. So they're doing a Connect, competitive device, and that way, and God, I wish Nintendo would. Oh God, I wish they would get their head out of their ass. But the thing is, but since Sony is developing a Kinect style interface, now when a game is developed that is not exclusive to the Xbox, it will be compatible on both systems because they'll have the same kind of input, the same kind of cameras, the same, level of information that you can work with. Just
Right.
like everybody, had to standardize a controller, now they're going to standardize all these other inputs. So once again, a developer will be like, great, I'm going to make a game and I'm going to put it on the Xbox and the PS3 because everything is the same.
Right.
So that's what we're looking forward to in 2014. 2013, 2014 right now is what they're gauging. So I've been keeping up on that extremely tightly.
Hmm.
And it's pretty exciting. And like I said, there'll be plenty of people who end up buying one of these entertainment units because I even hate to call them a gaming console now. But there'll be plenty of people buy one of those units who will never play a game on it. They'll buy it for various other reasons.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to see it, but I also can't. I can wait to see the price.
Yeah, I really believe that they're probably going to be $600+ when they come out.
Oh
Kind of like
yeah.
the PS3 was originally as the first Blu-ray player.
Oh yeah.
So
It'll be insane for sure. But here's hoping we can afford it.
indeed, we'll all sell our souls.
We'll pull out a mortgage or something
Yeah,
somewhere.
we may have to. Jeez.
But um, but yeah, man. I mean, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what's been going on.
Yeah, we made a heck of a catch-up show here. There's one other thing that you brought it up earlier, and we need to announce our Game of the Year pick for
We
2011.
do.
And now we also said, now hang on though, before we say that, we actually didn't do our game of the last quarter either.
We didn't. I mean, we had quite a few. Obviously, it was November that there was a rush, and we had
Well, it
Modern
was
Warfare
October,
3.
November, and December is what we were covering for our game of the final quarter. And
Right.
we had, the major releases. We had Uncharted 3, Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare 3, Star
Skyrim.
Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. We had, or the Old Republic, Skyrim, of course. Oh my God, what else? I mean, the list was endless.
Right.
But
Oh yeah.
I think those were definitely the major majors.
Right. So what was yours? What was your pick for the final?
Final quarter, believe it or not, I think I'm going to go with Modern Warfare 3 on that.
Okay.
As you know, and let me tell you, honestly, as much as I'm let down by it, believe it or not, I was actually kind of let down by Uncharted 3 a little bit.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a little bit more on it. I think I enjoyed 2 more than I enjoyed 3.
Oh, easily. Uncharted 3
It
had
had,
a very
it had
disappointing end game.
Yeah, and honestly, I was hoping that was going to be my final quarter game, but Star Wars is great. I like it, but it's still an MMO at the end of the day, and I'm still getting used to MMOs. We can devote a whole show to my review of an MMO in general, Star Wars in particular, but we can talk about that another time. But I can't pick that as game of the quarter, and of course, everybody, I think we don't want to revisit my opinion on Battlefield 3 right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Although it's sitting here next to me.
well, I've actually played it since then, and I actually enjoyed it. Which was completely different from your experience with it. I actually had a pretty decent time. The single player wasn't very good. I enjoyed the single player better than Modern Warfare's though. Um, I don't know why. I think it's that realistic factor of realistic combat over over just more of a, I don't know. It's weird. My multiplayer, I enjoy it to be COD-like. My single player, I enjoy it to be Battlefield-like. And so it was kind of vice versa. I still enjoy Modern Warfare 3 better when it comes to multiplayer, but the single player was better for me. Um, for some reason, I don't know. So it was kind of the best of both worlds with the games. But
I still respect it. I mean, I still do. I still think it's a very good game. It certainly deserves all the praise that it got. I had a horrible experience with it when it came out. I have since revisited it in the last couple of months. There's a lot going on there. I got the Carcand expansion DLC. I enjoyed it. I still have many of the same gripes, but it's a whole lot more polished now, and
right.
they fixed a lot of the problems that were going on early, and
Mm,
I still stand by everything I've said, but I don't play very often, but there are some inherent flaws in the game. But beyond that, I was hoping that was going to be my game of the quarter as well.
yeah.
All three of those games, Modern Warfare, Battlefield, and Uncharted. I mean, I thought, man, this is just going to be too hard to pick. And believe it or not, as disappointed now as I am in Modern Warfare 3, I still think of those three games, that one still is the one I'm playing right now. And the other one too, I was just as disappointed in those, and even more so. So for me, it was Modern Warfare 3.
Yep. Well, I think it's obvious which one mine was.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And I think that I honestly have to imagine that this was a lot of people's choice.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
It got so many awards.
in an actual complete, in my opinion, it did overshadow Modern Warfare 3, and it still is overshadowing it.
I
Um,
completely agree.
it
The love for Modern Warfare 3 from the general community at large is just not there.
Yeah,
People
and
aren't even making videos of it. They're not watching videos of it. Nobody, the worst thing you can ever say about a game franchise is that the community is apathetic,
yeah,
meaning they just don't care. It's like it's just there and it's like, I'll play some, but nobody's
yeah.
excited.
Nobody's as excited as they were with Modern Warfare 3. Battle or Black Ops pretty much destroyed it, and then
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 came in and kind of sealed the deal with it's like, okay, well, you haven't done anything new, and not
Believe it or
only that,
not, I'm actually on board right now for not buying another Call of Duty. First of all, I'm never buying another Treyarch Call of Duty. 100%. I'm never
Well,
buying
yeah,
another one.
I will not be purchasing Black Ops 2. Don't even ask me.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
will not purchase it.
same for me. I'm not buying another Treyarch Call of Duty. I said I wasn't going to do another one after World at War, and the hype about Black Ops was just so overwhelming, and I jumped on board and I was extremely disappointed, and then all the things that went wrong with Modern Warfare 3, just like you said, it sealed the deal for me. I'm suffering from Call of Duty fatigue in that I'm constantly disappointed. And the last time I was happy was Modern Warfare 2, and that was it. That's what I was looking for, and
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 is not it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, and I've discovered what the gambit is, what what it is that keeps bringing us back, and that's when a new COD comes out, there is always something that they parade in front of us as being brand new.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is that once that wears off within the first couple days, it's back to the same old thing.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make a change to the game. The only way I would buy Black Ops 2 is if the gameplay could prove to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is not the same game, that it is not, it doesn't feel the same, that it feels like a brand new shooter and it is damn good.
But here's a problem with that. At this point, they have zero incentive to change game engines until the new console hits.
They
And
do,
the thing
yeah.
is, there's nothing more they can eke out of these current hardware generations. There's nothing more they can do with the game engine with literally and why, and let's say they said, okay, yeah, we want to maximize the potential of these game systems and let's start a brand new engine. They're not going to do that. These generations of consoles are dead now. They literally are obsolete. And it's seriously, we're probably 18 to 24 months away from a new console arriving on the retail market, not
Yep.
counting the Wii U, okay?
Yeah,
But
no.
yeah, because nobody's gonna buy that.
Well, if they do, it's
Oh
a lost
God.
cause. But
But anyway, the point is that it takes years to develop an engine for a game. And so at this point, there's literally no reason for them to do this until they start developing for the current, test engine, or not the test engine, the test consoles that they'll probably start releasing to developers within the next 12 months. Say, here's your new platform, start developing for it. And of course, you know what's going to happen. They're going to release these things probably around October or November, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to choose a Call of Duty game or something similar as their flagship release, which is going to force everybody who wants to play the latest Call of Duty to go out and buy the latest console to do it on. So
yeah,
that's what's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen in 2013. It may even be pushed as far as 2014 before they get there. But that means Black Ops 2 possibly, and let's just go out on a limb here and say Modern Warfare 4, if they do a 2013 release of Modern Warfare 4 on the standard generation consoles where we're at, that means they'll do some new Call of Duty engine, a whole new game from scratch, literally from the ground up, because they won't be able to use the current engine. They'll have to do it from scratch for the release of either the new console in 2014 or possibly even as early as 2013. And then, that's when you're going to see the people who are truly dedicated to the Call of Duty franchise cough up the 6 or 7 or even, who knows, $800 for the new console to play their new Call of Duty game.
yeah.
But honestly, I think I'm literally out on Call of Duty until probably the new console generation.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I can't pick. I can't pick it for my even close to my game of the year. Skyrim is one of the best games ever made this whole console generation, and you and I don't know. I don't like hype, and this game has been hyped and talked about so much that I'm getting sick of it. And I'm getting sick of hearing about Skyrim just because of how much it's been talked about. And I hate that when it happens to a game. We were just talking about this before,
Yep.
before we started recording. But it is, once you put all the hype and all the stupid memes and shit behind you, it is definitely the game of the year, or game of the quarter.
Game of the quarter, yeah. And obviously for you, there's no doubt. I mean, this is game of the year. I mean, this is probably game of the last 2 or 3 years for you.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I'll lead the game of the year. So my first quarter pick, I don't remember. My second quarter pick,
No,
I
hang
don't
on though.
remember.
I thought you and I shared the same. Let's try to remember though. Let's try to
It was
remember.
Dead Space 2.
Dead Space 2 was mine as well. We shared that about the first quarter. We both had the same pick of the
We
quarter.
did.
Second quarter, I think
Second,
yours was Portal 2
right.
and
Portal
mine was
2.
Crisis 2.
Right. That was right. Third, I think mine was it Gears 3? No, it
Deus
was
Ex,
not.
wasn't it?
No, it was not. It was Dark Souls.
Oh, that's right. That was third quarter. I forgot that.
Right. And
Mine was kind of an oddball pick. Mine was Warhammer, Space
Warhammer
Marine,
20, yeah, or 20,
40K.
40K, my bad. And then of course our fourth pick here. So out of those four, what is the best game for me? And my game of the year goes to Dark Souls.
Really? Hang
Yes.
on now.
Yeah. Nope.
Wait. What?
My game of the year, the game that I've fallen in love with this game. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love Skyrim. I thought it was one hell of a quest, a trek. It was amazing. However, I have put more hours into Dark Souls, and I have replayed the game so many times and learned the ins and outs. Now, when a game does that to me, when it makes me want to learn everything about the game, when it makes me want to replay it so many times that, my fingers are blistered, I beat that game. I mean, I sped ran that game. I beat it in 8 hours. I've beaten it in a day. And I've gotten it down to an art. I've probably beaten Dark Souls now at least 20 or 30 times.
Oh my God.
Okay, it pulled me in, and that's just the beginning of it. The topping, the icing on the cake is the multiplayer, man. I've spent endless hours destroying people for hours. I mean, literally standing on a hill waiting for somebody to invade me and then slitting their throat and just having the best time of my life. And there's such a feeling that you get when you get invaded in that game, even if you know it's coming. And it's such an eerie feeling. And I mean, it's one of those games that puts you into a position. It puts you into it's very rare for me that a game can pull me in to the point where I'm like, I feel like I'm being, I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm being an actual part of that environment. And that game does it, man. And it's one of the reasons I like this San Andreas multiplayer. It's because you really kind of feel like you're in it. You feel like, oh crap, I just murdered somebody. The cops are after me. I'm kind of freaked out about it. This game, when you're deep into the dungeon, if you're down in the depths, trudging through the sewers, and somebody invades you, you get a sense of panic because you will probably die. You have a very good chance of dying, and there's a chance that you've lost hours of progress. So that panic is real. And Skyrim, it is an amazing story, an absolutely amazing game. And this is like the closest I've ever had to come to choosing something because of Skyrim's absolute greatness. But the truth is that even the hype of Skyrim plays a part in my decision. And I have to turn to I'm a hipster when it comes to games. I'm a complete hipster. So when it comes to choosing, I have to go with the underdog. And I have to choose Dark Souls. Game of the year.
Wow. Unreal.
Yep.
I did not see that coming.
Yep.
Well, the same way that you feel about Dark Souls, all those things that you were saying, how passionate you are about it, how you feel so immersed and that the game grabbed you and just didn't let go, and you just get this immense sense of immersion. Let me tell you, for me, it is Dead Space 2, Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it was early in the year, and sadly a lot of people now, think back and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's right. That game came out. I remember playing that."
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean it's old now, and in the world of gaming anyway.
Right,
But
right.
let me tell you, man, I mentioned Max Payne 2 was a rare game for me in that I actually went back and played it, and beat it multiple times. I really enjoyed it. Dead Space 2, I beat 3 times this year,
Damn,
3
yeah.
times. And the thing is when I played the original Dead Space, I was like, oh my God, this game is so immersive. The sound is so good. The mood lighting, the environments are believable, but yet at the same time, it's still fun. And then you got a story, and the story is progressing well. There's good characters. There's interesting, end segments to each chapter, and the chapters are well done that tell the story. And, I mean, it's like, there's so many memorable moments, and I thought, okay, there's no way they're going to follow this up with a game that can be any better.
Oh yeah.
And then here comes Dead Space 2, which, remember, when Dead Space came out, the original Dead Space was just this, nobody knew anything about it. It was like, oh yeah, some horror survival shooter, big deal, whatever. And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, holy crap, where did they keep this game hiding?
No kidding.
And then,
Yeah.
they made a little mini movie. They did a comic book series. They did all this other stuff. They really did realize that, holy cow, they had a major franchise on their hands, and they didn't even realize it.
Hmm.
And what I'm thankful for is not only Dead Space 2 being just everything that Dead Space was, and just so much even better, but yet what I really love more than anything is they haven't milked it. They didn't come out
Exactly.
with, they're not, saying, oh, wait, Dead Space 3 will be out in January of 2012, a year later. They didn't go, okay, well, we'll just, throw a bunch of content in there and call it Dead Space 3, and we'll just put a new one out every year. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So,
No kidding.
the thing is they are respecting this franchise. They're not driving it into the ground. And I really believe that the quality that we've seen in the first two will remain for the next game. And they've already been talking about it. And they're doing it on a planet. Dead Space 3 is supposed to take place on a snowy planet.
Oh really?
And yeah, it's still Isaac. And the idea that he's gone through all the things from the first two games. He's going to be basically, shipwrecked on this, on this planet, and now he's going to be, where the original marker came from.
Right.
And of course, now there's going to be all these other people that went there to go get the marker themselves, and now they have been turned into, necromorphs or whatever. And there's going to be all this new stuff to explore, but it's going to be a whole different locale, a whole new environment. I really feel like if every franchise was truly treated with the respect and the care that the Dead Space franchise has been treated with, I believe that we would not have enough hours in a day to play all these different games that are out there. They've been milking Assassin's Creed, and Assassin's Creed is good in its own right. Don't get me wrong. It's still a great franchise. Okay, a lot of people love it, and that game franchise as well has been getting progressively better. And by the way, we forgot about Assassin's Creed Revelations that came out in the last quarter
Yeah.
as well.
Well, I didn't forget it. I would not pick it.
Oh, I wouldn't either. But the thing is that was another AAA title that
Oh
came out.
yeah. Oh for sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
about being overlooked, that was overlooked. Man,
Yeah.
look,
Well, I mean, we talked about we we talked about the fear that we had that Assassin's Creed would turn into COD,
yeah,
and it essentially did.
it did
It
absolutely.
it what it did was it made a game full of filler to get to an ending that was decently thought out.
Right.
And I played and beat it, and the whole time I just wanted the end. I wanted the end, and I wanted to see what was happening to Altair, and it was just like basically filler until you got to those points. And that I shouldn't feel that in a game. I shouldn't be like, yes, finally I get to play Altair's part. That
Right.
shouldn't be what happens. And that's the way I felt. And my whole stream knows that. Whole time I'm just like, oh, I just want to play Altair. Oh, I just want to see the end of the game. And yeah, when I saw them, they were nice, but it's like I could have watched that. I could have watched those parts and been satisfied. You know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, it's starting to suffer, and so yeah, I get what you're saying, but
But there you go. So, game of the final quarter and game of the year. And, one thing that I really do look forward to is I want to see a bunch of comments, gang. I want to see everybody, hearing down the scope. And one thing I'm curious about is tell me your game of the quarters and also your game of the year. I'm very curious to see what people choose. And remember, a quarter is January to March, then April to June, And then is that right? April, May, and June.
July to
Yes,
September, and then
July to
October. Yeah.
September. God, and then October to December. There you go. And if you don't feel like going back and looking at the calendar of release dates, it is very easy. You can go find a very, you can go search all over the place for 2011 calendar of release dates for all the major titles. But tell us your game choices for 2011. Even tell us maybe your thoughts of the gaming, the whole year of gaming in 2011. How do you guys feel about it? We're now in 2012. We've already got a couple of big games that have come out this year already. And tell us what you reflect back on 2011 with what your favorite game was, what your games of the quarter and year were. What did you feel was the biggest story of 2011? Maybe there was something that you fondly remembered in the world of gaming from 2011. Tell us down in the comments. I'm very curious about that because we can talk about it in the next cast. Some of the things that you
Yeah.
guys bring up in the comments.
And don't forget that you can email your questions and comments to podcastdownthescope@gmail.com,
Indeed.
as well as leaving a comment on the video, and we'll get them. But if you have like a comment or a story or something you want to show us, or even a video that you'd like us to watch and maybe talk about, you can send it to Podcast Down the Scope. It's kind of an advanced comment section, if you will.
Exactly. And many times, if you guys truly do take enough time to make an explanation and tell us, a lot of details about something that you feel is important to talk about on the show, we will obviously not only talk about it, but we'll throw your name out there and let everybody know that you are a listener and that you've helped, provide the content for us to talk about. So we do look forward to all of those emails.
Yep. And, we'll be back next week. We got get our shit together and get this thing going, and we'll be back next week. And I really am excited to get going again because I missed, Anakin and I, we talk during these things, and when we didn't do this, we didn't talk very often.
Right.
And not only that, I like hearing your feedback. I like hearing that, and I'm so tired of getting messages asking me where it's at. So.
Yeah, we literally did this just so you guys would leave us alone.
I was gonna fake my death. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, fantastic!
But yeah, so I think that wraps up episode 41. And I have to say, now that I have the streaming thing down, I think that we do need to pick an episode to stream live again.
Absolutely.
and do it right. And do it on Justin TV and not YouTube.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And something of interest, and this is something else you guys can throw down in the comments and give us some feedback, especially at like you said, podcast downthescope@gmail.com. This is something I'm very curious about. Would you guys like to have a scheduled Down the Scope podcast that is live every week? And
that's a good idea. That's what I'm thinking.
And that way, it would be something that not only could you go back and listen to, I could actually still, from the live feed, create an MP3 and make it available to you guys. But at the same time, we could make it interactive. We could read comments live while we're doing it, talk about it. We could actually, even bring up some things on the PC instead of actually showing gameplay footage. We could actually bring up stories and videos and other things literally on the screen. And stream those while we're talking about the specific topics, and it might be something worthwhile. It could be a whole new paradigm shift in the way that people watch podcasts. Instead of doing it as a pre-recorded thing, maybe it might be something that you guys look forward to doing live every week. So
right, it's just a live show. It'd be, and not only that, it would be. I think that we could probably figure out. Well, we'll talk about that later. But I don't want to say something that people wait. In episode 41, you said you was gonna do this and this, and it ain't here. Where's it at? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm sorry. It was just like a dream I had. Exactly. I would love to have done it, but I'm lazy.
Exactly.
But yeah, that sounds fun, and we can even it'd be cool because we could even show video and stuff that we we wanted to show, but we couldn't pull it off the internet, or maybe we needed to search something. We can do it live, and it'd be pretty neat.
Absolutely.
It'd be definitely neat to do. So yeah, there's some food for thought. Give us your comments. I expect this podcast on both channels to receive 200 comments.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean,
It,
with all of the amount of attention that we've gotten over the last couple of months since we've done one, I really, and this is actually me asking the audience as well. Here's the thing, gang. If you guys truly want Down the Scope to succeed, and you want it to continue, and you truly do enjoy this, here's what we want to do. We want to really get this thing moving again. If you guys truly do enjoy it, I need you to go and promote this. There's a lot of podcasts. I mean, a lot of podcasts out there. It seems like everybody is doing a podcast now. But here's the deal. I've actually listened to some of them. And I'm gonna sit here and be conceited here and arrogant for just one moment. I believe ours is extremely listenable.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Veridia and I, we have a rapport. We have the gift of being able to speak coherently and consistently for a direct 2 hours. And the thing is and big for good or for bad. But the thing is if you listen to some of these other podcasts out there, there are just nonstop awkward pauses. There are these weird tangential comments and topics that they just start talking about that don't mean anything to anybody. They throw a lot of inside jokes that are between them, and then they go, and nobody, the audience is not in on the joke. And there's so many, what I consider to be so many mistakes that people make in a lot of these other podcasts that are out there that I really do believe, I truly believe that Veridia and I are doing something right with these podcasts, and they're very listenable. I even go back and listen to our own podcast from time to time,
Oh yeah, me too.
and there's something. I think there's something here, and if you guys can really truly get Down the Scope promoted, maybe we can get picked up and get a decent audience somewhere and get something moving. And just like Tim Schafer getting Kickstarter and getting something moving, there is power among the community. You guys hold that power to make something that you love become something bigger. And it's up to you guys to try to get this podcast to a bigger audience. And if you guys truly do like it and you want us to continue it, get the get the audience out there, promote this,
Hmm.
and we will continue it. And otherwise, when my podcast, especially over on my channel, I know I've been inactive, but when this podcast gets 300 views, it's just not a it's not an incentive for me to spend the amount of time involved in it. As much as I enjoy it, I just feel like there's just not a whole lot going on there. And honestly, I really do enjoy it, and I want it to succeed, but I really want to expand it. This time I want to get things moving. So
Yeah.
that's my take on it. I hope you guys, take that to heart and see what you can do with it.
Yeah, me too. I am very excited to be back. I do agree with Anakin. We get this shit rolling. I don't I don't know how to say it any better, but it's like we gotta pick up the pace here. I'm tired of I'm tired of being where I'm at. I want to move forward, and I got a lot of work to do at that as well, which I'm trying to get done. Um, things move slower than I thought they would, but
Indeed.
yeah, indeed. But yeah. So anyway, I think that on that note, we will shut up. Even though I've got more to say about everything that's happened, there's been
Oh
a
yeah.
lot. I think we'll save it for another time, guys. Get us a topic. Get us something you want to hear. And I don't want to hear. I can't come up with anything because Anakin and I do it. Well, we did it every week. We've
Yeah.
had a couple months to think about it now, but we did it every week consistently for 40 weeks straight.
Yep.
And we're gonna do it for 40 more weeks, hopefully. So give us some ideas, give us some topics, something you want to hear about, preferably gaming related, not to
Yeah.
do with like your dating or your
Yeah,
mom and dad.
don't call us up and ask us how to, take the fingernail out of your dog's back or something that you're we can't help you with those kind of topics. Don't ask me how to make an umbrella sandwich or, where to take your vacation. I just I don't mind talking a little bit about stuff off topic, but certainly gaming is the cast's approach.
It's like because I just don't care about your problems. I've got my own shit to worry about.
Exactly, exactly.
But yeah, so anyway, guys, I hope you have a great week. I hope everything goes well for you. And we will definitely see you next week. Guys, take care and peace out. Fun gaming, happy gaming.
Indeed. See you guys next time.
Later.
Later.